No, the title or thumbnail are not clickbait. This is the best shotgun for PvE, and I'll explain why in just a second. But before I do, if you learn anything from this video, if you take away anything, if you enjoyed the video, hit that like button and subscribe. It really helps me out. I'm on my way to 1,000 by the end of the year. So with that being said, let's go ahead and hop into the PvP review. But if you want to look at the PvE stuff, there'll be a timestamp that you can skip to, and there's chapters set. Enjoy. So for Crucible, it's a rapid fire frame. I used to enjoy these for Crucible. They used to feel really good. The only problem with them now is with special ammo economy. They don't hit as hard as other shotguns, and they don't have as much ammo as other shotguns. So we're just going to look at the perks objectively, even knowing that fact. So in the first column, it's threat detector or slide shot. Personally, I feel like the handling on these things is okay at 43, so I feel like threat detector is a little overkill, so slide shot is what I'm going. And then that final column, you have opening shot, barrel constrictor, 1-2 punch, trench, swash, or vorpal. I'm going opening shot to tighten that spread because I was pretty much struggling to get any kind of kill with this thing without opening shot. I had a single roll with opening shot that I don't have footage with because I wanted to make this for a PvE video. I didn't get any footage of it, but opening shot is so much better than any other perk that you could even use. So as long as you have opening shot, it feels fantastic. That's the main perk I would go for. And then I'd definitely go accurized for your mag, and then probably a range masterwork. And the barrel's up to you whether you want more handling or more range. I'm personally a big fan of small bore. And then threat detector or slide shot. I'm just going to go slide shot because one, it's going to reload the gun. Two, it's going to give me more range. It's a win-win. So on to PvE, there's several PvE options you can go with. Pugilist in the first column is big because it matches with the origin trait. Pugilist is where you get a kill with this weapon, you're going to get 20% of your melee energy back, and if it's enhanced, it's going to be 22%. And then with the origin trait, Cast No Shadows, dealing melee damage increases weapons handling and loads a small amount of ammo into its reserve, so about 20%. And on this weapon, that'll just be one shot, but it's still pretty good. So you can combine that with something like 1-2 punch if you need a 1-2 punch shotgun. You can combine that with something like swashbuckler if that's more your style. But I think the biggest one here is trench barrel, and I'll explain why whenever I talk about what I think is the perfect role for this. Onto the big wow moment. This weapon has access to field prep, which is going to give you 50 reload speed when crouching, and it's going to give you bonus reserves. We're mainly using this for the bonus reserves. We don't care about that reload speed. You can use this with trench barrel and reload constantly and reproc it over and over. Trench barrel is pretty good, does solid damage. You can use dual loader with this. I'll show footage here in just a moment of dual loader. If you enhance it, it's going to load 3 shots into the mag at once. While I don't have it on this weapon, I do have it on Ragnhild, as you can see here, and it's going to load 3 shots into the mag every time I shoot it. So you can run that with trench barrel. Since trench barrel is active for 3 shots, it works out perfectly. But I think the perfect role for this is that field prep role. So why do I think it's field prep? Field prep and vorpal weapon. Field prep is going to give you bonus reserves, and then vorpal weapon is going to give you 15% more damage on bosses. With Cast No Shadows, when you deal melee damage, you load a small amount of ammo into your weapon. If you are playing on a hunter, this is where this shines. Rapid fires are known to be some of the best DPS for a shotgun because it has so much reserves. And right here you'll see why. I throw my smoke grenade, which is a lingering melee. I'm going to fire all my shots. As soon as it starts to linger, all my ammo back. I can fire continuously. That one dies, another one steps in it. Continuous fire. You throw this on a boss and you can absolutely nuke them with this weapon. And I'm going to keep this on repeat. You'll see it'll constantly reload in this fight too. As long as you have that snare bomb melee, that damage over time is going to constantly reload this thing, and it's amazing. I didn't know what was doing it at first. This is great. This is great news for this weapon, and it's also great news for Line in the Sand, which its review is coming next week. Hi, Editor Krim here. So if you're wondering why I don't recommend trench barrel, it doesn't actually reproc with the powered melee like the origin trait does, so that's the only reason I'm not recommending it, but you can use it. And you're probably wondering, what else does this work on? And I tested out the solar melees hoping that the Scorch would work. I also tested out the Warlock's volatile melee to see if that would work, and then I finally tried arc melees to see if jolting targets and them taking damage that way would work, and nothing else worked. The only thing that can proc this is the snare bomb. So unfortunately, this is a hunter exclusive thing. And not to mention, there's a perk in the artifact called Saint's Inspiration, which are rounds loaded by Cast No Shadows, the origin trait, can overflow the magazine. So you can actually preemptively throw your smoke bomb and go ahead and load ammo, because you see in this clip that I was at full ammo at some points, and if I had had this active, it would have just overflown the weapon. Unfortunately, that part is only available for this season, but yeah, you can just nuke anything with this. So you can weaken a champion and then delete them with this. But this is amazing because rapid fires are the best DPS because they have so much reserves. It has access to field prep, which gives it even more reserves. And with Cast No Shadows, you can have a bunch of your reserves loaded into your magazine automatically for you, and then you can overflow it with Saint's Inspiration. So it's absolutely fantastic. I wish kinetic weapons still did more damage to bosses, because this would be absolutely nuts. Anyways, that is the role I recommend. Field Prep and Vorpal Weapon, very interesting role. Never thought I would recommend that on a new weapon, but this origin trait is so good for hunters if you're going to be using Snare Bomb anyways to weaken targets. It's really, really good. If you are playing a different class or you're playing a melee based build, I definitely recommend you go 1-2 punch. That's great with Liar's Handshake or pretty much any Titan melee build, and then it also works well with Trench Bro if you would like to go that route. And for the Crucible, my hard recommend is going to be Slide Shot Opening. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you did enjoy, please hit that like button and consider subscribing. It really helps me out. Comment down below what you think about this combo, and I hope to see you guys in the next video, whatever it may be.